Entry. That's by the Tragically Hip. Ah, here it is. Good, good, good. All right, here we go. First thing we climb a tree, and maybe then we talk, or sit silently and listen to our thoughts, illusions of someday, cast in a golden light, no dress rehearsal, this is our life. That's where the hornet stung me, and I had a feverish dream with revenge and doubt. Tonight we smoke them out. You are ahead by a century. You are ahead by a century. You are ahead by a century. There in the morning shroud, and then the day began. I tilted your cloud, you tilted my hand. Rain falls in real time, and rain fell through the night. No dress rehearsal, this is our life. Well, that's when the hornet stung me, and I had a serious dream with revenge and doubt. Tonight we smoke them out. You are ahead by a century. 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 And disappointing you is getting me down. Hydrate or drive, absolutely. That is good. Dihydrogen oxide. That is very, very good. Dihydrogen oxide.
right, let's get this show off the road here. Let me check, make sure my mic is still working. Yeah, all right, mic is working. We're good. Always got to check. Good evening. Good evening. This is the Double Tribble channel on Twitch. It is 10:32 approximately on August 21st, 2024. And this is a live stream on Twitch. My name is Ron. I live in New Hampshire. I live in a rural area surrounded by forests and wild animals and stuff. And I stream on Twitch. I stream science, technology, movies, do some IRL once in a while. I've been vegan for 40 years, so every once in a while I'll talk about that. And yeah, mostly science stuff, but a variety. They call them variety stream. I guess I'm a variety streamer. And I'm relatively new. I've only been doing this about a month, so I'm not even, haven't even made the cut yet for what do they call it, affiliate on Twitch. If you hit certain goals, they make you an affiliate, and then they start paying you. So I'm doing this for nothing. I'm not getting paid at all for anything. So so if you see this on a VOD, I put them on YouTube or maybe somewhere else, I don't know. But if you see this on a VOD, it's a live stream. So I'm streaming this without cuts or anything, just me talking live. There's a chat. People are free to type into chat and ask questions if they want or whatever. So welcome. The title of the stream tonight, this is Wednesday, so we've got Retro Sci-Fi Review for Interstellar 2014. Yeah. 2014. Is that, yeah, that's retro is 10 years or more, so I think we're in there. Let me see when this was actually made. I'm going to just look at the let's see here if I can. I'm going to look on the Wikipedia page if I can. Let's see where it is here. And I'll see exactly when this was made, and I'll maybe give a little background on this. Okay. All right, we didn't get a. I thought I had my browser up here to that page. Interstellar. Whoops. Thought I had this all set up, but I must have hit the wrong button here. Happens a lot. All right, Interstellar. Okay, there it is. Okay, I had it there for a second. Interstellar, 2014. And let me see when it was exactly released. So we'll see if it really is retro or not. Let's see. No, November. Okay, so release date's October 26th. So it will be retro in 1 month, I guess, or 2 months. Close enough. It's retro. 10, anything 10 years old. That's everybody has their own definition of what retro is. Mine is 10 years, so this is about 10 years old. So, and the reason why I was going to talk about, what was I going to talk about? My Favorite Martian, I think. The TV series, My Favorite Martian. And I changed it to the last minute here because earlier today, or no, my last stream, I guess it was, I don't know, Star Talk, Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about this film. And, there's a lot of technical stuff in this film, right? A lot of science, a lot of science in this film. And he did a calculation, there's a black hole in the film, and he did a calculation, he was going to do the calculation, but he asked somebody else to do it and invited them on the show and on his program. Anyway, they talked about it and they said, nah, that doesn't work. They did a gravity thing with this black hole and time dilation and all that, and it didn't work out. The math didn't work out, but it was, it's Hollywood. And I mean, for a Hollywood film, this film is actually pretty accurate. They had Kip Thorne as the a consultant, science consultant or whatever. Let me check this here. Yeah, I think it's okay. I'm not sure if it's synced up. Yeah, it's close enough. I think it's close enough. It might be out of sync a little bit. So it's a lot of techie stuff in it, a lot of effects, got all the stuff. It's a real sci-fi. It's not a horror film. It's pretending to be a sci-fi. It's not a a war film pretending to be a sci-fi. It's a real sci-fi. So this was 2014 and kind of a complicated plot. So I thought I'd give a little bit of a review and talk about it a little bit and maybe explain her. A lot of people have already explained this, tried to explain it, but going to be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film yet, maybe you should wait, watch a film and then do the watch the VOD or something. I don't know, because there are a lot of spoilers in this thing, and then they're real spoilers. I mean, they're real. When you watch a film, it's kind of a lot of surprises and stuff like that. So you probably want to watch it without knowing. Although it's been out there 10 years, so you know how the internet is. It's probably ever been spoiled for everybody by now. Anyway. So the film Interstellar has got double meaning here apparently because they got a lot of stars, right? Stellar star, right? A lot of stars, Hollywood stars in this thing. Matthew McConaughey, Jessica Chastain, Anne Hathaway, Murphy, right? And then they had Jessica Chastain is Murphy, which is Cooper's daughter. Cooper's the protagonist. John Lithgow, Michael Caine, Casey Affleck. That's Tom. Oh, that was his son. Okay. What else we have here? David Gyasi as Professor Romley. Matt Damon was in this thing at a relatively minor role, which was surprising. So that's kind of spoilers. Matt Damon shows up in this film. So, who else is there? Wes Bentley as Doyle. Bill Irwin as Tar. Oh, that's the voice of voice and puppetry. Okay, so Bill Irwin is the guy. He did the voice of Tars, which is a kind of a blocky-looking robot in this film. So apparently he helped with the puppetry as well as doing the voice, and he did the puppetry for Case, which is another robot, apparently, which is kind of confusing. I'll explain that later, maybe, if we have time. So let's see, Michael Caine. Who else was in here? I guess so. It's all-star cast, right? Got a bunch of stars, in Interstellar. Okay. All right, well, let me get to it because this guy started kind of late here. I changed it at the last minute, and I really didn't have. So I had to kind of scramble and try to put this together, and try to find some spots in the film that we could look at, and comment on, and see how well they did on the facts, and how well they did on the production, and all that kind of stuff. So okay, the main thing. Let's see here. All right, got to do some twitchy stuff here. Get my thing figured out here. Okay, there it is. Oh, it gets right up there. All right. I think this will work. All right. So, background. They're in this. Earth is dying, all right, or whatever. There's a diseases going around that are killing the crops, and apparently the food supply has diminished. Food shortages, and civilization is kind of halfway collapsed or whatever, and Earth is dying basically. And Murphy, this is Matthew McConaughey. He's the Cooper. They call him Cooper throughout the thing. And then this kid here is his daughter, Murphy. And because of this, let me put let's see here. I didn't put my spoiler thing up here. There we go. Spoilers. All right. So, just in case somebody, sees Interstellar, what do you know, and it just clicks and somehow they know it's spoilers. We're spoiling. They're spoilers. All right. So this is so it's Cooper and his kid named Murphy. Cooper's the protagonist. Murphy is kind of is a supporting character, I guess you'd say. She is probably in terms of the character, she is probably the second or most important supporting role in the film, I think, supporting character. But Murphy's the protagonist. And so basically the Earth is dying, right? And here's the scene kind of in the beginning of the thing. Maybe it was just about 20 minutes into the thing. And they make a discovery. I'll play this and then I'll talk about it a little bit here. All right, let me play this a little bit. Let's see if this works here first. I'll play this one scene for a bit and then we'll see if it works.
It's gravity.
I'm dropping Tom, then heading to town. You want to clean that up? When you finish praying to it?
I don't think I hit the right spot here. Sorry about that.
It's not Morse, Murph. It's binary. Thick is one, thin is...
Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah. All right, so they're looking at dirt on the ground. I don't know if it showed that or not. The whole yeah. Did they show that? There it is. Okay. So they're looking at this dirt on the ground. It's Dust Bowl type stuff, right? If you're familiar with the Depression in the U.S. and the Dust Bowl and all that, that's kind of the feeling that they're trying to get here. The crops are failing and the ground is bare, so there's dust all over the place blowing, and and the dust is always blowing in the house and stuff like this. And for some reason, it fell in these weird patterns. And Murphy, the kid, has been studying it, and she discovers that there's some sort of hidden message or something in the pattern here, and she's deciphered it. And she couldn't. She for a while she was trying to convince her father, that it was a thing, and he was, blowing it off and saying, forget it, Anyway, so he finally figures it out here with her, right? He figures this out. So that's what this was about. So he's looking at that book there. Let's see if we can get that. All right, there he is. So here.
It's not Morse, Murph. It's binary. Thick is one, thin is zero. Coordinates.
Okay, so he's... Anyway, so they figure it out, and it's coordinates. He figures out that these ones and zeros that are showing up as dust, and there's also other things that are happening, goofy things that are happening in his room. There's books that fly off the shelf, and it's like at the beginning the audience doesn't know what the heck is going on here. Is it ghosts? Is it what is it? And then there's a little watch that doesn't work, but the hand on the watch ticks. And apparently she can count the ticks or something and decode the ticks on the watch and figure things out too. So that's what's going on there. And what they figure out is that what they decoded so far was that the ticks, or the lines on the floor end up to be coordinates. On a map, and they follow. They go. So they say, "Oh, this is a coordinate. It's pretty nearby." They hop on their old truck and they drive to a to a facility, and so here's where they get to the facility, and they're trying to break in or something. They're trying to break. They get to the facility, the gate's locked, and they want to break in to find out what's going on. So it's kind of weird, right? So they see dust lines on the ground that have a pattern. The pattern is coordinates. They go to the coordinates, and it's this hidden facility with this gate, and so they go in there. Let me play this here for a few seconds here.
Step away from the fence!
Don't shoot. I'm not armed. My daughter's in the car.
Okay, so they get caught. Right, they're breaking the facility. They get caught. They get brought in there and into this facility. It's a hidden facility, and there are a bunch of people in there. And let's see here. Yeah, they go into this hidden facility. Oh, I thought I had another one here where but anyway, they go into this hidden facility. And it turns out to be NASA, okay, inside this facility. And so NASA has got this hidden facility. It turns out they're building a rocket. And they explain to him that that they found 48 years ago, and they kept it a secret. There's a lot of this government conspiracy stuff running throughout this film. But they said, they explained to Cooper and his daughter that they had discovered a black hole near Saturn, which is kind of weird. Or no, a wormhole. That's right. It's not a black hole, a wormhole. Which I think a wormhole would involve high gravity, high energy at least. It's bizarre that nobody would notice it, but for some reason, for 48 years they kept this a secret, and they built this. They're building this rocket ship to send people. A series of rocket ships actually to send people into this black hole. Because on the other side of the black hole, or the wormhole rather, the wormhole, on the other side of the wormhole, which is who knows how many light years away, there's a solar system, a star system, planetary system that has 3 planets that they think might be inhabitable by humans. So they go. This is really so. Basically, they've got a disease, a plant disease, and somehow they don't have the technology or knowledge or know-how to figure out how to get rid of this bug that's messing up their plants. But they have the capacity to build rockets and go through a wormhole and go to another star system and move everybody from Earth, or some people to Earth, and colonize another planet light years away. That's the premise of the film. Okay, so it's Hollywood. Okay, they got to have a plot. So it doesn't make sense, but that's what they're doing. And Michael Caine is in this movie too. Let me see here. All right, here's Michael Caine, and he somehow is going to. He's a professor at this facility, and he's related to yet another character, Brand. His last name is Brand. Another character, Brand. Let's see here. what's her name? I forgot her name here. Anne Hathaway is his daughter. And he somehow is going to figure out how gravity works to somehow figure something out. I'm not sure how this gravity solution problem is supposed to help humanity. I think it's maybe once they solve gravity, then they can fly easier, or I don't know. It was kind of weird, but somehow this gravity, so the solution to the gravity problem is supposed to cure all of humanity's ills and allow them to go, get off Earth and survive. So let me play this a little bit here. If I got it to the right point here. Let me play this here.
You return, I will have solved the problem of gravity. I give you my word.
Okay, well, I'm not sure if I had the right point there or not. I think what this did is it shifted all of my stuff. Let me back this up again. Yeah, I think I had all these bookmarks on this thing, and it shifted them all by about a half a minute, so sorry about that.
How far have you got?
Almost there.
You're asking me to hang everything on an almost.
I'm asking you to trust me. Find us a new home, and by the time you return, I will have solved the problem of gravity.
Okay. So he was explaining to him that he's trying to solve this gravity problem. But as it turns out, he's lying. He's not solving the gravity problem. I'll explain that later on. But he's lying. He's not. Apparently, there's no way that they can solve this gravity problem unless they get data from inside of a black hole. And you're right, there's no way to get stuff out of a black hole because nothing can escape from a black hole, right? So he knows this. He knows that he can't get the information that he needs to solve this problem. But he lies. And okay, I'll explain later why he's lying there. Let's see here. Okay, this one here's a scene where they explain the wormhole, which I thought was kind of cool. This is so let me kind of explain. Okay, so all right, so let me go back here. He's talking. There's a plan A and plan B, he says, right? So solving the gravity problem is supposed to be able to help them leave Earth or something, or have humanity survive. And the other plan was to take a bunch of fertilized eggs or something in a spaceship and colonize one of these 3 planets on the other side of the wormhole. Okay, so there's a plan A, plan B. Michael Caine's character here knows that if they only went with this plan where I'll explain the whole thing here. So if Michael Caine's character here knows that if they only had that one plan where they sent the fertilized eggs, thousands of fertilized eggs through the wormhole, blah blah blah, to get humanity reestablished somewhere, that everybody else who was left behind would be pissed off and wouldn't cooperate with the plan, right? Because that's the way people are. They would, people would fight over who would, be able to take this, survive, right? So he tells everybody that, okay, plan A is, we're going to solve this gravity problem and everything will be all right, and we'll save everybody on Earth, right? And that'll get everybody working to help with the thing and building the rockets and doing all this stuff. But he knows that that's not going to happen, or he thinks it's not going to happen. He's just using it. He's just telling people that so that they will work on this plan to send the rockets out with the fertilized eggs to establish a new colony. And they're using fertilized eggs because they don't weigh as much, right? You're sending thousands of people, that would weigh too much and would take a lot more energy and effort and stuff. But if they just send these frozen embryos or whatever up into space, then I guess that'll work better. So that's the plan, right? He says there's a plan A and plan B. There really is no plan A. The plan A is just a false thing, just to try to get people to work on this whole thing so that they can actually send these fertilized embryos into space through a wormhole to another planet. Okay, that's the thing. All right, so he explains the whole thing to Cooper, and meanwhile they had sent up years ago. They had sent some astronauts up. I can't remember how many they sent. 10, dozen, I don't know. Several astronauts through this wormhole. Before this point in the movie, right? This like years ago. They sent them up to explore and try to figure out which planets are inhabitable. And the idea was that these astronauts were supposed to land on their planets, and if they found that the planet was habitable, they could send back a signal to Earth to say, yeah, we've got habitable planets. And for some reason, they couldn't send the robots to do that. I don't know why, but they had to send people. And the people couldn't communicate. They could only send very, very, like Morse code or something, just a few little things. There's a lot of stuff in this thing that are really stretched. You gotta suspend disbelief on the plot line here a little bit. So that's the thing. So they sent years ago. They sent these astronauts up there, and 3 of them have sent back a signal that says, "Yeah, we've got a good planet. Come here. Come live on this planet." And the other astronauts apparently just, if they went to the planet that wasn't good, yeah. So it was a one-way trip too. Another thing. So these guys these astronauts, they sent them up there, and most of them died apparently because they went to a planet that wasn't inhabitable. So, all right, I think that explains it, right? I still don't understand how the gravity problem fixes everything, but so next thing here. All right, so they explain all this to Cooper. He's a pilot, right? And they say, okay, Cooper, you got to fly up there and fly to these 3 planets or 1 or 2 or whatever, and figure out what's going on, and bring these embryos with you and establish a new colony up in one of these planets. So that's what Cooper is doing now, and he takes off with some other people. And it's kind of dramatic because he's really close to his daughter, and they kind of weren't speaking to each other when he left, and it's real emotional, right? But I'll play this scene here, and it's kind of interesting the way they transition this scene. They go from this dramatic moment, this sad, dramatic moment, and they kind of transition into a different mood here, and I'll show you how they do that here, which I thought was kind of interesting, the way they did this transition, cinematically. I'll play it here.
6, 5, main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, booster ignition, and all engines look good. Beginning roll program. Prepare for stage 1 separation. Stage 1. Areas
Did you see how they transitioned that? I thought that was kind of a, kind of a seamless way or a way to handle that, cinematically. They had to get somehow from this very sad, dramatic thing where he's leaving his daughter and blasting off and all right, and then they have to kind of transition into this, different mood now. They're blasting off. And so they apparently tried to put in some humor here to do that. So I thought cinematically, I thought that was kind of interesting. That's why I played that whole thing there, so you could kind of see how it transitioned from the sad part to a different mood now on this spaceship. And so on the spaceship, they've got Cooper, Brand, which is Anne Hathaway. Let me get the names here correct here. So make sure I got the right. Anne Hathaway playing Brand, Amelia Brand. They just call her Brand usually. And Matthew McConaughey playing Cooper, Joseph Cooper. They just call him Cooper. So those two are astronauts on the thing, and then they have David Gyasi, who is Professor Romley, and who was the other one? Yeah, Wes Bentley, who plays Doyle. So those are the four astronauts on the thing. Also they have TARS, TARS. I forget what the acronym stands for, but that's one of the robots. These blocky robots. I think I've got a clip in there of them. But something that was kind of confusing for me was on this. They have TARS. TARS was the first robot he met. He met that at the facility, and they introduced that robot. But apparently there's another robot called Case, which is the same kind of robot, a blocky robot like that. And I swear, I watched this. It took me like 3 or 4 times watching this thing before I figured out that Case was actually one of those blocky robots. I thought they never really introduced Case, like they did TARS. And you kind of just hear his voice. They flash him on the screen there for a second. I think they may have in this clip they may have showed him, but it wasn't clear that it was another robot. And they start talking to Case, and I thought Case was the ship. I thought they were talking to the ship, and the ship was a robotic ship, because later on, in another scene, I don't think I have that in here in my samples here, but he calls to Case to fly over and help him, and the ship flies over and helps him. And apparently it was the robot flying the ship, and it just wasn't very clear at all. As I said, it took me like watching it 3 or 4 times before I figured out that that's what was going on in the thing. So that wasn't too good. They could have had a little bit, taken 30 seconds or so to really explain who Case was and what that was all about. So anyway, so they get up in there, they blast off. And you see they had this big ship, huge ship, chemical propellant, all this huge rocket to get them up into space, right? Because they had to get away from Earth's gravity. So they needed a big rocket ship to do that. So remember that. Remember, they had to use this big rocket ship to get off of Earth. All right, so they're up in space. And now here's where they explain what a wormhole is and how it works and stuff, which I thought was kind of cool. They explain it pretty well. I think people know what a wormhole is, but they kind of explained it here for general audience pretty well, I think.
In space like this, so you can take a shortcut through a higher dimension. Okay, so to show that, they've turned 3-dimensional space into 2 dimensions, which turns a wormhole into 2 dimensions. A circle. What's a circle in 3 dimensions? Sphere. Exactly. Spherical hole.
Okay, so he explains that out in space, a wormhole, right? You heard it. You get it, right? It's a sphere. It's not just a hole. It's not just a 2-dimensional hole. It's a sphere. So so that's cool that they did that. That they actually tried to make that an accurate representation. Instead of having a hole in space, they have a sphere in space. So they wanted to try to at least get that accurate. I mean, if wormholes even exist, right? Let me see if they got a better picture of it. Yeah, there it is. See that? There. See that sphere there? It's a sphere. And they fly into it. It's a real, it's Hollywood. They make it really dramatic. They've got lots of noise and shaking, and they fall into this wormhole, and it spits them out on the other side of the wormhole, light years away somewhere. And then, so they get to this. They get through the wormhole. Then they're all trying to figure out what to do. They find the three worlds that are possibilities, and they look at them all and try to figure it all out. And so they decided to go to this one called Gargantuan, or it's a planet. The Gargantuan is a black hole, I think, and there's a planet orbiting Gargantua, and they got good data from that one or something, right? So whoever landed there was sending back good data. So they said, okay, we'll go there, and that's where we'll try to do the colony. We'll try to build a colony there, or at least that's the first place we'll try. But the problem is that this planet is orbiting this black hole, or is around, or maybe it's a binary system. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe a binary system with a black hole and a star, and the planet. I'm not sure what if they even explain that. But basically, it's a planet near a black hole, and so when you go to the planet, because it's near the black hole, there's time dilation. That's due to Einstein's theory of general relativity, where he explains how space curvature causes time dilation. Gravity is space curvature. That's what gravity is. It's a curvature of space, and it causes time dilation. But now going back to when I talked about Star Talk, where they were explaining this. And it turns out that the numbers don't match up. There's no way to have the amount of time dilation that they explain here. Let me play this, and you can see they'll explain what how much time dilation there is here.
No, it's not that. It's time. The gravity on that planet will slow our clock compared to Earth's drastically.
Oh, how bad?
Well, every hour we spend on that planet will be 7 years back on Earth. That's relativity, folks.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So they explain. So what did he say? He said every hour is 7 years, and so Neil deGrasse Tyson said that doesn't sound right. That sounds like too much. Too much difference. How close would you have to be to the black hole for that to happen? And so he invited an expert on his show. I should have brought that up here. I tried to play that clip on my last stream, and I wasn't able to get it. I should have put it in this stream here, and I could have played it right now, but I didn't get it. Anyway, so they explain that. And he invites on Star Talk. Neil deGrasse Tyson invited a guy on, an expert on this, who actually figured out and wrote a paper recently on the closest that anything could orbit a black hole. And it turns out that as you get closer to a black hole, because possibly because of, he didn't explain, they didn't get into the details, but I think it's because of time dilation and the and also increased mass, because you have to go faster and faster in order to get around a black hole, and maybe you get up to relativistic speeds in order to do that. But you can't have a stable orbit beyond 3 times the Schwarzschild radius, I think. Anyway, they did the math, and you can't do this. Is too much time dilation. You can't have this. Would never happen. You couldn't have this much time dilation. There'd be a little bit, maybe noticeable time dilation, but not, 1 hour equals 7 years. That's too much time dilation. So this is a problem with the film. But actually, we learn later that the black hole isn't really a black hole. So maybe that's how they get around it on the plot, right? It's not a real black hole. It's a fake black hole built by people in the future, is what happens. Spoilers. So anyway, they said, okay, we're going to go down to the black hole. So the 3 of them. Cooper and this guy and Brand go down. Dr. Romley stays up to the mothership here, and they fly down to this planet, which not only is the planet near a black hole, but the planet itself has more gravity than Earth. I forget what they said, 1.3 or something. It's heavy, It's more gravity than Earth has on this planet, and so here's what they find when they get there, is because of this huge gravity and other tidal forces, because and all this that's going on because they're near this black hole and everything. It turns out it makes these huge waves, and they have trouble walking around on the surface because of the heavy gravity and everything. So I'll play a little clip here that kind of gives you the feel for what that's like.
Brand, Doyle, back to the Ranger now.
We're not leaving without her data.
Get back here now. We do not have time. The second wave is coming. We're in the middle of a swell.
I got it.
Get your ass back.
So they're, they got a huge wave comes. They say, "Oh no, what are we doing?" And it turns out that the pilot or the astronaut that had gotten there before their spaceship had got all smashed up, and they're trying to rescue the data that the pilot had gotten, which of course doesn't make any sense, right? This place is obviously not habitable, so why? This is a fail, right? They got big waves and shit. They can't live there. It's all water, So why they were trying to save, go through extraordinary measures to save the data for this planet. This is already a fail, right? They don't need this planet. So that was another mistake. And then so they end up. Let's see here. Yeah. So the wave crashes in and messes up their spaceship there, and they get stuck on the planet and they have to wait for water to drain out or the water to dry up or something for a couple hours. Anyway, meanwhile, the idea is that every hour that they're on that planet is 7 years up on the mothership. So poor Dr. Romley is up there. They're down there for a few hours, and he's up there for a couple decades, because of time dilation. They explain it here. Let me, here. I'll just play this. This is how they escape from this planet that has a higher gravity than Earth, and it's real dramatic. It's Hollywoody.
Engines up!
and the guy. Oh yeah. By the way, the other guy died. Right. So just Cooper and Brand are the only ones that got away. This guy died, and maybe one of the robots too. I don't know. No, I think the robots made it. So anyway, they escape. Now there's more gravity on this planet than there is on Earth. But somehow they were able to just, with this one ship, not even multi-stage or anything, just this little spaceship that already used some fuel to get down there, somehow they're able to blast off and escape from this planet that has more gravity than Earth and go all the way back up to their mothership. See, that's a mistake, I think. That's not right. So anyway, they get back up there. Let's see if I got that here, where they get back up there. Yeah, here it is.
Hello, Rob?
I've waited years. How many years? By now it must be.
It's 23 years, 4 months, 8 days.
Doyle?
But I was prepared. I knew the theory. I knew. Reality's different.
And Miller?
Okay, so you understand what's going on there? They went down to the planet just for a couple hours, but because of time dilation, the time for them was running slower than time for Dr. Romley up here on the mothership. So they went down for a couple hours. They came back, and it was a couple decades for him, right? So something interesting on this. A couple weeks ago, or a week ago, or whatever, I did a review of Mission to Mars. Remember, if you watched my previous thing, I did a review of Mission to Mars. And on that one, it was a very similar situation. They had a guy who was stranded on Mars for a couple of years or something, or a year or whatever, without contact with people. And on that one, they treated it much differently. And I commented about it, how screwed up that was, what they did. In that one, the guy was when the people came, after being alone for all that time, he went crazy and got violent at the people when they came, which I said was not realistic at all. That wouldn't happen. And this one here is a little bit better, but it's still, when you're socially isolated for a long time and you finally get a chance to see people, you're happy, you're grateful, you're excited. This is not played correctly here. They're playing it like he's comatose almost or something. It's real weird. They didn't do this one right either. It should be that he should be very happy to see these people. Still totally socially awkward, right? Because he's alone for all the time. But at least they should be happy to see the people. So and in both cases they screwed it up. They didn't do it right. All right, so they get back to the mothership and they say, okay, the one by Gargantuan there, that isn't going to work. That planet isn't going to work. Obviously, it's got these big waves and stuff. But at least they got the data, right? Who cares? I don't know. So that one didn't work. So they said, okay, they got two other possibilities, right? There were 3 possible planets. So when they got through the wormhole, they said, okay, here are the 3 planets. This looks like the best one. They went to this one, and it was no good because they had these big waves and stuff. Didn't work. So they got 2 other planets left, and they're trying to decide which planet should we go to. And, of course, they don't have enough resources or time or whatever, who knows what. They can only go to one of them. They have to choose between one of the 2 ones that are left. And it turns out that one of those 2 planets the astronaut that went to that planet had a relationship with Dr. Brand, which wasn't revealed until they were deciding. I should have played that scene too, where they were deciding. But anyway, it's basically she had a relationship with the astronaut on one of the planets, and so she was. And when they're trying to decide which of the two planets to go to, she was arguing for going to that planet, right? She wanted to see her beau, you know. So she was arguing, let's go see that planet, because that seems like the best planet to go to. And then during that argument or that discussion, it was revealed that she had a relationship with the guy, and they voted, right? The three of them voted. And she voted for the one planet, and the two guys voted for another planet. And so they go to this other planet. Let's see here. Okay. Meanwhile, so they're on their way to the other planet or whatever. It's been 20-something years, right? So all their family back on Earth have all grown up and everything. And this is them going through their messages, their voicemail or video mail, I guess, from Earth. And Murphy, who is Cooper's daughter, has grown up now. She's in her 20s or something, or 30s maybe, or whatever. And she's talking to them. And it turns out that she discovered that the whole thing was a sham. The Plan A was a sham, and everybody's going to be left on Earth. And now she's pissed off at him again for it. Here, I'll play it, and I'll explain it if it needs an explainer, I guess.
Brand, did you know? He told you, right? You knew. This was all a sham. He left us here. To suffocate. To starve. Did my father know too? Dad? I just want to know if you left me here to die.
Okay. So he's just learning about this now. He was fooled too. Cooper, this guy here, where is he? Cooper is just learning that. He thought Plan A was a real thing too. The discovering the professor or the scientist discovering gravity. Kane's character. He believed Kane's character when he told him that. So he's just finding out now too that Plan A was a scam, and it's just Plan B. So he left his daughter behind, and that's it. He's gonna go to this thing, and he's never gonna see his daughter again now. He's just learning that. So that's what's going on there. So that's kind of a dramatic moment, and again, in the beginning, it was clear that they had a good relationship, but here's another friction thing in there, and he's all upset that he was lied to by the Professor Brand, the professor who was going to solve gravity. He was lied to, and it's a sham. And two, that his daughter thinks that he was in on a scam, so that makes him upset too. And then three, of course, that there's, he's never going to see her again, and so it's a big dramatic thing there. Cooper and Mann. Okay, this. What is that? Cooper and Mann. Oh shit! Okay, well, here we go. Here's where they get to the other planet. I think they actually landed on the other planet before that. But anyway, so they decide not to go to the planet where Anne Hathaway's beau is, right? Instead they go to this other planet, and what a surprise! It's Matt Damon, who's the guy, big A-lister star, and just all of a sudden he pops up in the middle of the movie, actually towards the end of the movie here. So I'll play that when we come up here. All right, so this is how somebody would act if they had been isolated for a long time, right, away from people. This is how they would act. They would be grateful, joyful, tearful, happy, whatever, right? So for some reason, in Mission to Mars, with Don Cheadle's character, they made him be violent, and in this film, Dr. Romley, they made him be stupor or whatever, just comatose. So this is a realistic depiction here of how somebody would act if they had been in social isolation for a long time, Anyway, so turns out so that's Dr. Mann. This is Matt Damon is Dr. Mann. Turns out that he got to his planet, and his planet was a bummer. It wasn't going to support life. But he knew, which meant that he was going to die on that planet, right? Because they're not going to come and rescue him. That was part of the plot too. For some reason, they weren't going to rescue the guys who went there. He didn't want that. He wanted to be rescued. He wanted to live. So he sent a false message saying, "Yeah, this planet's great. Everybody come here," because he wanted to get rescued. And that's what happened. They came there and rescued him. It turns out that his planet was a bummer too. So Cooper and Mann are out exploring the planet or something like this, and Cooper hasn't figured out yet that it's a bummer planet because Dr. Mann here, Matt Damon, has been feeding him bullshit about data and how good it is and all this, and so they go out to explore this thing, and Matt Damon makes his move and decides to kill Cooper so he can escape the planet and live. And it's just this whole scene here and this whole situation is kind of a reflection on humanity and survival, and a lot of dialogue in here is like that. Mann's talking about how people have survival instincts, blah blah blah. And I'll play a little bit of this and you can see what's going on.
If I just pressed that button, then somebody would come and save me.
You fucking coward.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Listen, if you're not...
All right, so... So I thought this was kind of a cool way to treat this whole situation here. The dialogue was, they had top list actors here, so they delivered the lines perfectly here. But so Dr. Mann is explaining to Cooper, the guy he's fighting with there, why he told him to come. He said he knew if he pushed that button, they'd come and rescue him. And there's other dialogue in there where they're talking about survival instinct and all this. But this whole situation where they're fighting now, and they go to this extreme long shot here, showing the desolation, and it's just it's humanity. This is. The message they're trying to say here is, humans are idiots. They fight over nothing. They're just that's kind of the message here, and also that here they want to take humanity and go and colonize other places, but the idea is we're just going to screw it up again. Wherever we go, we're going to screw up again because we just fight each other, and that's I think that's the point here. This is a great treatment of that whole way to explain that. They're fighting, and it's in our DNA, and as long as we got this DNA and these brains, this is how it's going to be. That's how I interpret this. Let's see. Okay, and then so we're getting later on towards a couple hours into the film now. It's a pretty long film. Yeah, it's a long film, isn't it? But a couple hours into it, then it really starts getting Hollywoody here. We've got Romley gets blown up here.
Romley, do you hear me? Romley! Please don't
Right, so they blow up Dr. Romley. Now I don't understand why that happened. This is Dr. Mann here, I think, or no, I don't know which one this is now. But anyway, both of them end up surviving. Dr. Mann survives, and Dr. Cooper. Dr. Mann leaves Dr. Cooper, or Cooper. No, he's not a doctor. Cooper for dead. They fight. Mann wins the fight. Cooper is left for dead out there. But Cooper gets rescued eventually, and Mann takes off and flies up to the space station. But for some reason, they blow up Dr. Romley here. I don't know why, or what the purpose is, or why, what is this? Why did they have this explosion here? I think maybe it was a booby trap that he set inside the robot, or one of the robots that he had there. I think that's probably what it was, but it's not explained, and it's not explained why, or why they kill off Dr. Romley, or it's just it's just ridiculous. And then Dr. Mann gets up to the mothership and leaves everybody else down on this planet. Because he wants to survive. He wants to take off and take the mothership. I don't know where. Maybe to the other planet, the one that's gonna work. I don't know. So he gets up there and he gets blown up too. Watch this.
Dr. Mann, listen to me.
This is not about my life or Cooper's life. This is about all mankind. There is a moment.
It is nuts.
All right, so yeah, he gets up to the mothership, and he gets blown up. Him getting blown up was an accident. They were trying to let me see if I can get that. Show that again. Yeah, this. Here where they.
And then we can talk about completing the mission.
See those little things there? Those little latches? They're going back and forth like that because for some reason, another failure, malfunction or whatever, he couldn't get a good rendezvous with the mothership. It wouldn't seal. Those little things wouldn't seal properly, and that's why it blew up apparently. And meanwhile, Cooper and Brand here found a ship and are traveling back up to the mothership to try to stop him, but they didn't, and he blew up the mothership. And they what happened here now? So they get up to the mothership and somehow get it working again. Something that happened with the mothership is that it was rotating for artificial gravity, and when it blew up like that, it rotated faster or something. There was something. It was rotating too fast or something like that, and they actually had to rendezvous with it and spin their ship really fast in order to rendezvous with it, which was kind of a dramatic thing. I don't have that here, but that was kind of a dramatic Hollywoody scene, and they hit lots of tense moments on that. But anyway, they get onto the mothership. They figure out that they can get to this third planet if they dump some cargo and dump some stuff, and what happens is Cooper says, "Oh, well, I'll just take this ship, this shuttle ship or whatever, and jettison it, and that'll give a boost to the main station so they can travel to this other planet." I'm not sure. Anyway, he's trying to sacrifice his life here so that Dr. Brand can go to the third planet and hopefully get people colonized. So I'll play this. And when he jettisons, and of course they're near the black hole, but not, and so he jettisons it, and he falls into the black hole is what happens here. So I'll play part of this here, and you can see
Do that.
Nosing down. Approaching the event horizon. Port side, dipping down beneath it. To go through it.
Okay, he goes a little bit. Let me go a little bit further here. So when he said that 90%, that's kind of a running thing through the film. A little bit, a minor little running meme, I guess, through the film, where they program robots to not be honest all the time, so that they're easier to deal with people, because people are not honest with each other all the time, and they kind of had an agreement there when they were not getting along well. They had this little agreement where they were not going to be honest with each other or something. 90%. They'd be 90% honest with each other, and so that's what that line was about when he said that 90%. Let me see here. So he goes in there with a ship. The ship falls apart, or he ejects, or something. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So he ejects out of the ship, and he's floating in his space suit, and still falling into the black hole. And this is what happens inside the black hole now.
Yeah.
All right, so isn't this weird? This is not what. I don't think there are very many scientists who think that this is what inside of a black hole looks like. But it turns out that it's not a black hole. Of course, it's something else. But it's real weird. So I'll just go through, because this kind of weird here. So he falls into this thing, and it turns out that it's they call it a tesseract or something like that. And the robot explains to him. The robot who had fallen in before him because they were trying to jettison the robot to try to get more momentum for the mothership to get to the other planet. So the robot's there, and the robot is communicating with it through the radio and explaining to him that it's a tesseract. I don't know if I've got that here, but let me play a little bit more here. Maybe it'll explain here. Okay, so he's fallen into this black hole, and he's in this thing. It's actually a tesseract, apparently, and they explain that it's a three-dimensional space that is representing a five-dimensional reality that these future people have built this tesseract for. And the whole thing was built, apparently, so that he would fall into it and navigate through this three-dimensional space, and apparently the inside of the tesseract is the other side of the bookshelf of Murphy's room, his daughter's room. Isn't that weird? I mean, it is weird. It's just the most bizarre thing. So he goes from place to place inside this tesseract, and each place inside the tesseract is a different time for a different time within his daughter's room with this bookshelf. And so he pounds on the books and knocks, so it turns out he is the one who was knocking the books off and causing all this phenomenon inside Murphy's room. Remember at the beginning of the thing I showed you that? This is what it is. It wasn't spirits, it wasn't ghosts. It was him who fell into this tesseract that allowed him to go back in time or communicate back in time through the bookshelf in his daughter's room. Okay, that's the part that people probably don't understand, but that's what the whole thing was about. And another thing that happened was that, and the robot explained this, and how the robot knew, I don't know, but the robot gives this exposition here about this tesseract thing. It turns out that the tesseract was built by humans of the future. So humans way off in the future have evolved into some other creatures that are living in a five-dimensional space and are able to build these kind of things and build the tesseract and puts it on the other end of a wormhole, and they built the wormhole so that Cooper could go through the wormhole, go through the black hole, fall into the black hole, get into the tesseract, send messages to his daughter, so that they could, so that she could figure out, and she ends up solving the gravity problem because of information that the robot figures out somehow by being in this tesseract, and tells Cooper to communicate to her through this bookshelf. It's just the most weird thing. And I guess that was a lot easier than the future people just sending a simple message to Earth on how to get rid of the plant bug that was killing all the plants, right? That would have been, if it was me and I was the future people and I wanted to make sure that humanity survived, that's how I would do it. I would just send a little message and say, hey, just modify this gene on your plants, or modify this gene, and here's some insecticide to kill this blight that you got on our plants. That's what I would have done if I was the future people. But no, they said, we got a better idea. We'll do this whole convoluted thing with a bookshelf and all this. So, okay, it's Hollywood. What can you do? All right. So after he does this, after he communicates the necessary information to his daughter, the Tesseract kind of folds up and goes away, and he's floating in space, and we don't know what happened. And it turns out he wakes up. Let's see here. He wakes up in a hospital, right? So he's floating through space after doing this Tesseract thing. He's just floating in space, and then it goes dark, and I maybe did a flashback or they put something in there. Anyway, he wakes up in this place, the space station. Yeah, this is kind of funny. I'll play this. This is kind of funny.
Cooper Station. Currently orbiting Saturn.
Cooper Station. Well, nice you to name it after me. What?
Well, the station isn't named after you, sir. It's named after your daughter. Although she's always maintained just how important you were.
She's still alive.
So, okay, so, all right, so here's the thing. All right, now this is way in the future, right? Because they've been messing around on these black holes, right? So their time has gone very slow compared to Earth. Earth is like years and years and years, decades and decades in the future. I don't know how many, maybe 70 years I think they figured out or something. I don't know. Way, way in the future. But he hasn't aged because they were near the black hole. So he's out of sync with Earth. You see what I'm saying? So he's back. He's on this station. Meanwhile, Earth has gone through 70 years. They got this information on how to, Murphy got this information on how to do the gravity thing, and the gravity thing helped them survive and, I don't know, be in an Earth station around Saturn. I don't know. But she solved the problem. The problem allowed humanity to survive somehow. And this is like 70 years in the future, so they built this, a lot of developments happened. They built this space station around near Saturn, and he wakes up on this space station. And they named the space station after his daughter because she was the one who solved the gravity problem and helped all this happen. And so we ask, is she still alive? And they say, yep, but she's really old, right? Because it's been 70 years. She's like really old. She's older than I am. She's really old. And so here's later on he meets her, and there she is. So there's Murphy, right? The little kid, his little daughter is all grown up, but he didn't age hardly, just just a few weeks or whatever. He didn't age much at all. So here this is a real tearjerker here. They have a conversation, and obviously he missed her whole life, right, and everything, but she, I'll just play it here.
People didn't believe me. They thought that I was doing it all myself. But I knew who it was. Nobody believed me. But I knew you'd come back.
How?
Because my dad promised me.
All right, so that's a big emotional moment. He gets to meet his daughter again, and so when she pointed at her watch there, she was, saying, she knew it was him communicating with her through time. She figured that out, right? Because she figured out the whole gravity thing and all that, and she tried to tell people, this is my dad, Cooper, communicating to me through the bookshelf. And of course, nobody believed her. I don't believe it. It doesn't sound like a believable situation in it either, you know. But and then she pointed to her watch, that was a special watch that didn't work, but it ticked enough for her to receive these gravity signals through the bookshelf from her father. And then the promise thing was when he left, of course, he said, "I'll be back, you know, don't worry about it." And so that was kind of a tie-in there too. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. There's one other thing here. I think let me see if they have that here. Let me play a few seconds here and see if they have that.
People didn't believe me. They thought that I was doing it all myself. But I knew who it was. Nobody believed me. But I knew he would come back.
How?
Because my dad promised me.
I'm here now, Mark. I'm here.
No parent should have to watch their own child die. I have my kids here for me now.
Okay. Well, anyway, I thought they'd have it here. I thought she tells him. I thought they had that here. Let me.
You go.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so she did do it. So that was them meeting up. She tells him, go find Brand. Remember Dr. Brand was Anne Hathaway, right? She while he fell into the black hole, or tesseract or whatever it was, that gave enough momentum for her to make it to this other planet where her bow was, right? And somehow Murphy, the old woman there who was the daughter, knew that. I don't know how, but she knew that Brand made it to this other planet. Maybe she was able to communicate. I don't know, but Brand gets to this other planet. And by the time she gets there, her bow is dead, and she's there by herself. And then Cooper takes off to go see her. He steals one of these fighter jets, or I don't know what they are. Right? This is 70 years in the future, and of course he knows how to fly it, right? Not, but anyway, maybe they all have autopilot. Maybe he just gets in and asks the AI how to do it, or where to go or something. Anyway, he steals this ship. And,
maybe right now she's settling in for the long nap.
So anyway, so he takes off and apparently flies to her. They don't actually show that, right? This movie's like already up close to 3 hours long. It's a huge thing. So they didn't show that part in the conclusion, but basically the end of the movie is him getting in this ship and flying away, and you're left with, okay, maybe he gets to this other planet and finds Brand there, which is kind of weird. I mean, it's 70 years, right? It's 70 years. They developed all this technology. All he has to do is hop into this ship and fly to see Dr. Brand at this other planet. Why hasn't anybody done that already before this point? Why did they just leave her abandoned there all these years? All they had to do was hop. Why? You know what I'm saying? They just left her alone on there. They had all this technology to go rescue all these guys now on these planets. So another plot hole. So a lot of plot holes in this film. A lot of issues. There's one other thing that I want to talk about here in this film, and I don't know if you noticed it or not, but there's some bias here in this film. There are only two black characters in this whole film that I could see, that I saw throughout the entire film. Huge, long film, lots of characters, but only two black people in the whole thing. And in my opinion, they weren't treated fairly in this film. The first one, this was towards the beginning of the movie, and the Earth is kind of screwed up and things are messed up, and they're saying that they're telling Dr. Cooper that his boy, cannot become engineer. He wants his kid to be an engineer like him, or a pilot, or whatever, some scientist or something. And these are teachers at the school telling him that his kid cannot be, telling him his kid should be a farmer instead of a scientist, and Cooper wants his kid to be a scientist. Anyway, the problem here is that both these characters actually are highly negative characters because they're antagonistic towards the protagonist. Cooper is the protagonist, and they're opposing him. They're saying things he didn't want to hear. They're giving him bad news. They're opposing him, and very often in films you'll see this, where when bad news needs to be delivered to a protagonist, or there's some conflict, they'll use a black actor to do that. I see that over and over and over and over in films, and this is one of those subtle things that they do in films that is racially biased, And this film is made. This is like just 10 years ago. We're almost 15 years into the 21st century, and they're still doing this. I don't know what. It's a big problem. And it's much more subtle. The bias in films used to be much more blatant. Obviously, it used to be, just much. Black people were criminals and or servants or whatever, and stereotypical type stuff. And it's gotten much more subtle, but the bias is still there in films. And if it was just this one scene or something like that, then it wouldn't be that much of an issue. But this particular director has had a problem with that in all his films. And if you go back and look at them, you can see that. Except for he did a film after this one called Tenet. You're probably familiar with that one. And that one had a black protagonist, and it was a much better film. But then, what they do? They screwed up the distribution of the film. They didn't release it. It happened around COVID, so rather than, movies did really well during COVID because everybody was at home watching. They didn't have anything to do, so they watched films on TV. But the director didn't want to do that. He said, "No, we got to do it in the theaters." And they just totally messed up the distribution of that film, Tenet. And then after that, after Tenet, then what did he do? He does Oppenheimer, a film with a cast of whatever, must have been dozens and dozens of characters. Every one of them were white. There were no black characters in Oppenheimer at all. So there's an issue there. And it isn't just this director; it's Hollywood generally. Hollywood has got an issue, and they haven't fixed the problem, And I'll play the scene here. You can just see how they treat this character.
Tom's score is back. He's gonna make an excellent farmer.
Yeah, he's got a knack for it. What about college?
Well, the university only takes a handful. They don't really have the resources
I
to...
still pay my taxes. Now, where's that money go? There's no more armies.
Well, it doesn't go to the university. Look, Coop, you have to be realistic.
You're ruling my son out for college now? The kid's 15.
Tom's score simply isn't high enough.
What's your waste?
So, see, and this guy just barely had more than a few lines, you know, and it was negative, right? So, and when that happens over and over and over and over in film, it's kind of perpetuates the image. It's very subtle, and subconsciously viewers see this, and it subconsciously builds up a bias in people who watch the films, you know. And this is one way that racism is perpetuated, is through film. It's one of the major ways that racism is perpetuated, is through film, through doing these subtle techniques and stuff to perpetuate racism. And it's not just racism; it's sexism too. Here, this other character. Now they had Brand in here, but she was even antagonistic, right, towards the protagonist a little bit. And you know, here's they make the woman here, and this is at the beginning of the film too. This is like, you know, a lot of times they do this. They do these kind of things at the beginnings of the films. So if you watch the beginnings of a lot of films, a lot of this kind of stuff happens. It's like the first impression that people
Federal
get.
textbook, we've replaced them with the corrected versions.
Corrected.
Explaining how the Apollo missions were fake to bankrupt the Soviet Union.
Right, so you know, she's being antagonistic to him too also, and she's saying that the moon landing was faked, and they changed all the textbooks to say that the moon landing was faked, you know. So they make her look stupid, right, and antagonistic and all that. And also now I'll play another scene here. This Dr. Romley, his character is not developed at all. He's not. Let's see here. His character is not developed much at all. Dr. Romley. Oh, where is it here? Damn it. Okay, there he is there. Okay.
6. Engines look good. Beginning.
All right, so I'll play this scene again, and now knowing what I just explained to you about how they use subtle things to communicate subtle bias and stuff like this. So Romley's character, basically, he had a little scene before this where he just did some exposition. You know, about, you know, trying to set up the whole, you know, explaining the wormhole and all that kind of stuff. But then they do this. Now listen to this joke, and listen to the subject of the joke here. And listen to the subject of the joke, and look at who they show on the screen when they're doing this. Watch this.
All engines look good. Beginning roll program. Prepare for stage 1 separation. Stage 1. There he is, Mach 1. Everybody good? Plenty of slaves for my robot colony?
Did you hear that? They show Dr. Romley, then they tell a joke about slavery. Now this is really subtle, okay? Maybe this was a coincidence. Who knows? And that's one of the insidious things about this subtle racism in film, is that it's subliminal, and maybe it's maybe it's just a coincidence, maybe not, and they always try to have plausible deniability when they do it. But when it happens over and over and over and over and over time, hey, we got a chatter here. So when it happens over and over and over again, and when particular directors have a history of racial bias in their films, then you can see it, and you can go through these films, and I'd like to do this. I'd like to see somebody do this. Actually, go through films. I'll be with you in a second, Stephen. When I'd like to see somebody go through all these films and we have the technology now to do that. We could have AI do that. We could have AI watch all the films and objectively look at how races are treated in films. How they're portrayed, where they're positioned in the scenes. A lot of times, black people are positioned to the borders of scenes. There's just a whole bunch of subtle things that they do. I've actually studied this pretty extensively. I've got a list of dozens of different techniques that they use to inject racial bias into films. And we have the technology now to actually sort it out and objectively look at it. So I think that would be something to do. And actually, name names. Show which producers are doing the films like that and which ones aren't. Which production companies, which actors are associated with that. And on and on. I think we should do that. So, all right, Big Ducky Snow. Hello, my W buddy. Hey, Stephen. How are you? Are you enjoying the enjoying my stream here? Have you been watching a long time? Let's see. I'm for those of you watching on the VOD here. This is a live Twitch stream, and people who watch the stream can chat on the chat. They have a little facility here for people to chat. And Big Ducky Snow says, "Hello, my Dubby buddy." Stephen is Big Ducky Snow is a big friend of the channel here. He's at the beginning of each of my streams, I play a karaoke song that he sung. You hear it at the beginning and the end of my streams. Okay, I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to say hi. I'm not sure what that was about. We put a couple emotes there. I don't know what there's. Okay. He just wanted to say hi, I guess. Hi, Big Ducky Snow. Thanks for joining the stream. So that was so that's the kind of problem with the thing, and the problem generally in Hollywood, and they still haven't fixed the problem. It's I think our what we should do is just not support that. Don't pay money to watch movies that are racially biased, and also don't listen. If you hear like mainstream media reviewers and all that kind of stuff, they're not going to talk about this at all. They don't talk about it. Oppenheimer. How many people mentioned that Oppenheimer had no black people in it? No black characters. I think there was one black guy who had one line or something in a parking garage or something. In Oppenheimer, but it was nominated for awards, and everybody said, "Oh, how great it was," and blah 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 blah. But nobody mentioned, "Oh, hey, by the way, there are no black people in this film made in the we're way into the 21st century." And there were black people who worked on the Manhattan Project. They could have put them in there, but they didn't. So, and plus they specifically choose topics. That's why we have so many films about, English boarding schools or 19th century, England or something, or, is because they know when they make a movie about those subjects, then they can be racially biased. And really, we're post Hamilton now, right? Remember Hamilton, the play? Why not? Why not cast black people in roles? Who cares if it? Why not have black people playing roles of historical people who were white? It doesn't matter. They can make films about Egypt, ancient Egypt, and somehow cast a Scottish person. Really, they actually did that. They cast a Scottish person to play a guy, an ancient Egyptian, right? If they can do that, why, I don't know. So, big problem in Hollywood. And this is one of the films that did that. So it's, they put a lot of effort in it. Special effects are really good, blah, 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 the whole thing. But it's just racially biased. So I don't really recommend, people supporting those type of films. Big Ducky Snow says, and slapped a little makeup on him to make him look a bit darker. I don't know if that's true, Ducky. Yeah, he just didn't, and his character wasn't developed though. Who is he? Other than, he was somebody working in this facility. He's a doctor, so he's Dr. Romley. Where did he go? Where's his family? What's his background? He didn't get much character development at all. The Middle East must have had a lot of good-looking people to know how to act. The Middle East must have a lot of good-looking people to know how to act. I don't understand that comment, Stephen. I'm reading comments here on the on chat. He says, should have been easy to find one. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Egypt is in Africa. Yeah. Egypt is in Africa. It was Africans in ancient Egypt. Not to, but who. People, okay, I'm reading Ducky Snow saying, not to, but who. Oh, I see. He was correcting his people who know how to act. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there are plenty of actors. There are lots of brilliant black actors. That's not the problem. The problem is Hollywood. Hollywood is just biased in their casting and the way they make their films and everything. That's just, it's Hollywood. And really, I mean, it's we're entering a phase here now where people can make, just a small groups of people with small budgets can make really nice films now, and Hollywood is going to lose control of the whole industry, and that's good. It should be more diverse. We should have more diversity in who produces films, who makes them, how they're marketed, how they get distributed, everything. It shouldn't be locked into a bunch of racists in Hollywood doing it. So I think it's going to change. Another reason to support the revolution, right? Lots of reasons to support the revolution. I support the revolution, for sure. Peaceful, nonviolent, of course. But definitely a revolution to overthrow the regime we have right now. Let's see. Big Ducky Snow says, Denzel Washington is one of my favorite male actors. I see movies he's in just because he's in them. Oh, yeah, he's a great actor. Yeah, Denzel Washington. His a movie that what was the name of that movie that he did? Oh my God! It's the name. He played a lawyer who had Stephen, you probably know the name of this film. Denzel Washington played a lawyer that had autism, and Roman J. Israel, that's the name of it, or Roman J. I think it's J is the middle initial. Roman J. Israel is the name of the film, and that's the name of the character. He did just a fantastic job in that movie. I think of course they, Hollywood passed him up on that. I don't think he got any awards for that, but yeah, he did a fantastic job in that movie, and most people have probably never even heard of that movie. Roman J. Israel, yeah, he did a great job in that movie. Of course, he did a good job, and the guy, the character in that film kind of gets the short end of the stick, which is not good. It's not good for people on a spectrum. It's not good for so I don't know what kind of rep that gives, but most of the time, or a lot of the time, movies don't give good rep to black people. That's just how it's been. But yeah, Denzel Washington, he's a really good actor. I like a lot of his films, and Will Smith. I know you do, Ducky. You've mentioned that you don't like Will Smith, but Will Smith is much different than Denzel Washington. But most of the films that he's in give good rep, to black people. So I'm not very good at recalling proper nouns. So there's another actor. Oh God, what is his name? Let me look this up here. Very famous actor, and of course I can't remember his name because I can't recall proper nouns very well. I have to look him up first. There was a movie called what was it called? Jesus, I can't even remember anything right now. What time is it? Almost 12:30. What was that movie that where they talked about humans evolving into the guy dies and his mind gets transferred into a computer, and then it gets out on the internet. Here's Ducky Snow. I just bought a Blu-ray copy of Roman J. Israel. Okay, so good. Cool, you did see that film then. Did I say that right? Roman J. Israel. That's what I said, I think, yeah. Roman J. Israel, Esquire. $12.49 CDN on eBay. Oh, that's okay. That's Canadian dollars. Okay, is that what that means? CDN? Is that what CDN means? Canadian dollars. So like $2 American. Yeah. You can get a lot of. I like to pick up movies at like garage sales and stuff like that when I can, because they're you can just buy them used, and it's okay to buy them used. I'm pretty sure you can do that with it doesn't violate any copyright or anything, because you're just getting a used. Let's see, because our dollar be weak. Oh yeah, baby kitten. Oh, you guys have a lot of inflation too, huh? Really? How much is the Canadian dollar worth compared to the American dollar right now? I'm talking with Ducky Snow on chat here. Okay, I've got it here. because okay. You mean I think what you meant to say was because our dollar is weak, like a baby kid. Is that what you meant to say, Stephen? Let's see here. Film. I'm trying to find this this other film trans. How can they not have this in here? There it is. Oh. Morgan Freeman. That was okay. What? Why can't my brain recall Morgan Freeman? I mean, and Johnny Depp. I couldn't recall any of their names. That's just that's the problem with my brain. It doesn't recall. I have dyslexia, and I have a social dyslexia, and I have a really difficult time recalling proper nouns, like names of people and places. But technical stuff I can do no problem, usually. I've been like that all my life, but when I was younger, I was able to compensate a lot more. But now that I'm aging out, it's harder for me to compensate, so it's even more of a problem. Morgan Freeman is almost always given good rep in his films. Early on, when in his career and stuff, maybe there was a few, but I mean it's like the standard was different, right, back in the 80s or whatever. But he has always been really good in selecting his roles, and I don't know how much influence he has, but I'm sure he has quite a bit of influence on how his characters are portrayed and stuff like that. So he's always done very well too. And Will Smith has been good with that, and so they're great black actors out there, and a lot of them refuse to take roles that give bad rep, and I'm sure it's getting harder and harder for Hollywood to find people to play roles when they're making them racially biased like that. So yeah. All right, so that's my opinion. I kind of went off a little bit. I feel really strongly on that. It's an issue, and I don't know why they don't fix it. It's not very good, and it's up to us, really. Ultimately, right? It's up to us. Don't pay money for films that give bad rep. That do these things. Let's see. Are you on a delay, Ducky? Let's see. There are plenty of black heroes in real life. Yeah, we should start seeing them portrayed in films too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just they film. There are films out there that do give good rep. It's just that it's like there are multiple layers on film in development. When they decide which script they're going to pick, they pick scripts that either exclude black people or have bad characters, or in the making of the film, maybe the editor can do stuff like that, like this scene here, right? This where they showed the black character when they made a joke about slavery, right? That the editor was in on that. The editor had to do that, right? And the director, I imagine too. So lots of people in the process of making a film can do that. So it's in the development of the thing, picking the scripts. We have a first-time chatter out there. Hi, first-time chatter. You have some cheap viewers for sale. Why don't you tell me more about it? If you tell me more about it in the next 30 seconds, I won't ban you. How's that? So there are these different layers, in the development of the thing. The script writers can make it biased. The people who decide which scripts to develop, the development of the thing, the production, the filming, the choice of the casting, all these places, and then when they get, how much money they put into the film, and then how much money they spend to market the film. If somehow they get a film made up that has, black characters in it that are well represented in it, then somehow those films don't get marketed properly and nobody sees them, It's biased throughout the whole process in Hollywood. Okay, Mr. Cheap Brewer, let's see what we're going to do here. How can we ban you? I don't even know how to do that. Let's see, pin this message? No, I don't want to pin it. Yep, I don't know how to do this. All right, I got to figure out. I guess I got to do it on this other computer. Excuse me. I got a chatter in here who's being mean to me. All right, let me go to mod view. All right, this might take a second. Because this other computer is really slow. Yeah, we got. For those of you who are watching on the VOD, I'm streaming on Twitch, and chat has this. They have this feature in chat where people can type in as I'm streaming, and I interact with them. But there are bots that come, and so now I've got a bot here that I've got to figure out how to get rid of. Welcome to chat. Okay. Or click on their name to click. Oh, okay. Maybe is that how I do it? Click on their name. Let me try that. Okay. I'm not sure. Accounts. Oh, he's already been. His account's already suspended. So they hit him in a few seconds here. Oh, that's pretty good then. So Twitch is on top of it. They got it figured out. All right. I don't know how to get him. I don't know how to get rid of his message here on mine, but he's already gone. Oh, wait, here we go. If we click these things, there it is. Report block. Okay, I'll block because he's already gone anyway. Block. There we go. Got him. All right. I don't know if that did that fix it, Ducky, on your end. I don't know. I can't tell on my end if it wiped out his message or not. Look for a circle with a slash through it. Yeah. Or click on their name and then click on the, yeah. I think I got him. I think I said I blocked him. But when I clicked his name, Stephen, he came up. We're talking about this bot now that showed up on my chat. And we're trying to figure out how to get rid of him off my chat because I'm still beginning. I've only been streaming for about a month or so. So this bot came up. And I think when I clicked on his name, it said this user's been banned already, or So apparently Twitch is on top of it. They figured it out right away that this guy was a spammer. So we got rid of him. Twitch got rid of him for us. So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Transcendence was a good film too that Morgan Freeman was in. That was a good one. Maybe I'll do a review of that sometime. That came out the same year as this film, actually. Right around the same time. They were probably competing here. Let me see. When was it released? April. So it came out a few months before this film. Yeah, maybe I'll do that next Wednesday. Maybe I'll do Transcendence. That would be good. Because that was another well-made film, I think. And that's the other step too, right? Is if they get a film that's produced that has really good rep for black people, and then the Hollywood critics are biased, and they'll pan a film, that's otherwise good film, like that film that I did the other day, Mission to Mars. That was a great film. It was really good. It had the same, it had flaws in it just like all the Hollywood films, but it was a great film, but it got panned by Hollywood. And I suspect that, it may be because they had pretty good rep for a black character in that film. You should Google how to ban a streamer on Twitch. No, I know how to do it, Ducky. I've done it before. It's just I had a different interface up here. I've got a pop-out chat here, and apparently it wasn't able to do it right. But I did. I clicked the guy's name, and I clicked the 3 dots, and I blocked him. So I don't know if it does. He still show up, and is this message still showing there? It shouldn't show. It should be wiped out on. Is it still showing there? It shouldn't be. Let's see here. Let me go to channel. Yeah, it's live streaming, everyone. This is what happens in live streaming. This stream went pretty good. I have a lot more, mess ups and technical issues and stuff usually. Welcome to chat room. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I think I banned him. I know I banned him. I don't know if his message got wiped out or not. It's still showing up on this little pop-out chat here, but this is for for streamers to see. So all right. So we reviewed Interstellar. It was a complicated film to understand. I had to watch it twice to see it. But I didn't pay for it. I got ad type or went to Tubi. I don't know where I got. I haven't paid Hollywood any money for a long time. I buy used CDs or DVDs, and I go to the ad-supported sites and don't watch the ads. So check your whispers. Okay, I'll check my whispers. Please check out what I am typing here. How to ban as a streamer. Okay. No, I banned him. Ducky. I got rid of the guy. He was spamming, and Twitch got him actually before I did. So, but you didn't ban him. I did, man. I did it. Oh, I blocked him. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Well, he's gone anyway, Ducky. That account's history. So you won't see him, but I still... Oh, you still see him? Oh, okay. So how do I... what else can I do? Do I got to go somewhere and ban him? Let me click this. Okay. There we go. I think that did it. Did that do it? I think that did it. Yeah. Yeah, that did it. All right, that did it for good. That did it on my chat. So he was banned from Twitch, but he wasn't. He was still showing up on my chat, I guess. So now I hit the right button, and he's gone now. So that's good. Yeah, that worked. It's grayed out now. Yeah, great. Yeah. So for the two viewers, I'm showing 2 viewers here. I don't know if we've got another lurker out there. It says I have 2 viewers. Okay, check your whispers here. Let's see. I'll go over today. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now we've done that. So yeah, the 2 there are only a couple of people watching my chat right now anyway, and the chat doesn't show up on the VOD. Some streamers can put their the chat on the video, as you see the video here, then like maybe right here, it would show chat, little area right here. They put chat, and then the chat messages show up right on the video, and then when I put it on YouTube or wherever I put my archives of my streams, then you would be able to read the chat too. But it's not that big of a deal. I don't get that many chatters. I don't have that many people watching the stream right now. Yeah, it shows I have 2. One of them might be me because I'm actually, in order for me to properly monitor my my stream, I have to actually lurk my own stream on another computer in order to actually see what's going on, because what OBS is the software that streamers use to stream with. The OBS program on my streaming computer doesn't always show exactly what's going out onto Twitch for some reason. So I have to run Twitch on another computer and pretend like I'm a viewer and lurk my own stream in order to hear and see what is actually going out onto Twitch. But I don't think I count as a viewer on my own channel. So I think there is it's probably another we probably have another viewer out there somewhere. Thank you for watching, another viewer. Thank you for watching my stream. I appreciate it. And then the VOD. Most of my views come on the VOD. Video. VOD stands for video on demand. When I put a recording of this live chat, I put that out on YouTube, and I'll probably be putting them on another site now because YouTube doesn't put all my videos up there. They censor a lot of videos. In case you didn't know that. This may help you. No, I got it figured out, Ducky. Yeah. It's a short YouTube video. See if it's helpful. Okay. Yeah, I think I got it figured out, Ducky. The one thing I can't figure out is how to get my what do you call them? Alerts. When somebody follows or somebody, well, nobody can subscribe, but if they follow or whatever, there's certain things that trigger these alerts, and you're supposed to be able to put stuff up on the screen when that happens. Like, if somebody decides to follow me, then I could have a trigger alert and play a little animation or something, or thank people for following or whatever. And I can't get that to work. I don't know what's wrong. Yeah, I've tried searching for it. I've watched a few videos on it, and I've set it up exactly how it's supposed to be. I think what it is I'm not an affiliate yet, and there's a lot of capabilities that don't work when you're affiliate, and they don't make that very clear in Twitch. I actually sent him a message today about that. There's another channel points on Twitch. There's a feature called channel points, so that people who watch your stream, the more they watch the stream, the more little channel points they get, and they can build these up over time, and then they can exchange them in for stuff. I don't know, like emotes, or just redeems, they call them. You redeem your channel points. Anyway, that whole channel point thing, I spent hours going through all the different menus on Twitch, trying to figure out, okay, where do I set up channel points, And I had remembered, at some point back, maybe a year ago or something, when I was just, learning about Twitch, I had gone through and I remember seeing that, how to set up channel points. But for some reason it wasn't in there, and I went through every single menu and I spent all this time trying to figure out how to set up channel points. And then I find out, oh, you got to be affiliate in order to do channel points. And rather than put the option in the menu where it's supposed to be, they hide it completely, where you can't even it doesn't even show up. What they should do is have on the menus, here's channel points, set up your channel points. And if you're not eligible to do that for some reason, you're not affiliate or whatever, have it grayed out, or have it come up with a little message that says you're not affiliate yet, you can't do this or whatever. But instead they hide the menu option completely. And I ended up spending hours and hours and hours trying to find something that they had hidden from me. Okay, Big Ducky Snow says something like add alerts to OBS Twitch. Yeah, I don't know. I set it up on Twitch. Do I need to set it up on OBS too? Let's see. Just copy and paste those words in that order. Oh, okay. Do a search for that. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll do that sometime and get them set up. I don't have that many stuff going on right now to even, I have 30 followers. Let me check and see if maybe I got some more followers, but yeah, I'll check and see if I got more followers. I don't think I did. Let me see if I got more followers while this stream was going on. I could have. That happens sometimes. I get somebody who decides to follow as I'm going along here. Let's see. Yeah, I need to hit the hay too. I'm just really late for me too. I kind of started this a little late. I think I had it originally scheduled for 7 or something like that, and then I delayed it because I got tired and I wanted to take a nap. And yeah, this is not a real professional operation here. And then I decided I was going to stream about My Favorite Martian, the old TV series called My Favorite Martian. I was going to stream about that. And at the last minute, I said, "Oh wait, we talked about Interstellar. Star Talk was talking about it and all that." And I said, "Okay, well I'll do that instead," which meant I had to spend an hour or so going through the thing and pulling out all those clips, and trying to organize some sort of a coherent thing, which came out kind of incoherent anyway. But let me see here. I'm checking to see if anybody followed me so I can thank them. Let's see, rated you with Party 9 view. Okay, no, I got your raid here. I think that was it. Yeah, I don't think I got any followers on this stream, unfortunately. Yeah, if you're watching this on the VOD, yeah, get over to Twitch and give me a follow. I'm trying to get affiliated. I've only been streaming about a month. And it takes... I have to get 50 followers and something else. Oh, and I have to get so many people watching and all that kind of stuff in order to get to the point where I can be affiliate and then get these other features and maybe get better treatment from the algorithm. And I don't think I'll make any money, but you can make money when you're affiliate too. I meant bent. Oh wait. I'm trying to read chat here from Stephen again. I got to go to bed now. I shall bid you a sweet rest of your stream and wish you a wonderful journey through dreamland tonight. Oh, thank you, Ducky. Peace, love, and light be with you, and see you around the bend. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Stephen. Good night. Yeah, I got to go. Good night, too. All right, everybody. Yeah, thank you for watching. Hope I didn't get too opinionated there, but somebody's got to say it, right? What's next? Next is Thursday. I think Thursday is my IRL day. I don't know what I'm going to do for IRL. Maybe I'll go to show my garden again or just, around the house here, do some IRL. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, if you're watching on a VOD, yeah, don't forget to give me a follow. Get over to Twitch, hit the follow button. And, again, I stream science, technology, movies like this, right? Movie reviews. And on Saturday, I've been doing actual movies. Might move that to another night. I'm not sure. I do, science and technology. Oh, and it's vegan, right? I've been vegan a long time, so every once in a while I talk about that. Talk about IRL. I live here in New Hampshire. Sometimes talk about that. A lot of stuff. Variety streamer, but mostly science and technology. And it's it's kind of a teaching thing. I did experiments. I do experiments on the stream, all kinds of stuff. So if you like that kind of stuff, if you're a geek, get over here and get me a follow. Good night, Ducky. I'll see you later. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. I don't have enough people to rate anybody, so I guess we're just gonna wrap it up. So everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for watching the VOD. Everybody, take care. Bye bye.
All right, here we go. First thing we climb a tree, and maybe then we talk, or sit silently and listen to our thoughts, illusions of someday, cast in a golden light, no dress rehearsal. This is our life. And that's where the hornet stung me, and I had a feverish dream with revenge and doubt. Tonight we smoke them out. You are ahead by a century. You are ahead by a century. You are ahead by a century. There in the morning shroud, and then the day began. I tilted your cloud, you tilted my hand. Rain falls in real time, and rain fell through the night. No dress rehearsal, this is our life. Well, that's when the hornet stung me, and I had a serious dreams with revenge and doubt. Tonight we smoke them out. You are ahead by a century. 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 And disappointing you is getting me down. Hydrate or drive, absolutely. That is good. Dihydrogen oxide. That is very, very good. Dihydrogen oxide.